Hi. So, one time I watched a video on the FNAF lore. And so, right now, as I'm driving to school, I'm gonna try my best to retell it to you. So, it all started with William Afton and his partner Henry, his good chum Henry. So, together, they created this business. They created a restaurant, and they named it Fredbear's Family Diner. And at Fredbear's Family Diner, they had animatronics. So, William Afton was the one who kind of created the animatronics, and then Henry was kind of a figurehead for the whole business. So Henry would deal with the business itself while William kind of dealt with the animatronics and stuff. So William first created these two animatronics for Fredbear's Family Diner called Fredbear, which is later known to be called Golden Freddy, and another golden bunny suit, which people normally call Gold Bonnie, I think, yeah. Or later in the series, people just call it Springtrap, because we'll get into that later. But so Henry and William were doing fine for a while, and as the business grew, they made new locations, and William made new animatronics. And at some point, he made the normal roster of animatronics that there are. So he made like Foxy, Chica, all of them. But he also made this other series that he named the Funtime animatronics, which consisted of Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Ballora, and Circus Baby. But around the time when he created a few more of the animatronics, he had two sons and a daughter. And his two sons were Michael and Evan, and his daughter's name was Elizabeth. So, Evan was really scared of these animatronics, and Michael would often kind of tease Evan on it because it's funny, and he would do that pretty often. And so, one day, Michael went a little too far, when he got a group of his buddies and they dressed up as the animatronics, and they brought Evan to they brought Evan to the Fredbear's Family Diner location, and they were kind of teasing him with the Fredbear animatronic. And one thing to note about the Golden Bonnie and the Golden Freddy suits, was that they were what is known as a spring lock suit, meaning it's an animatronic, but what they can do, they can like turn some gears, push some levers, and all of the mechanical parts of the suit would kind of move to the side, and then someone could like step inside of it to wear it as a suit. So but these are also known to fail sometimes. So like all the mechanical parts will just fly back at you when you're inside the suit. But so when Michael and his buddies were teasing Evan, one of them put Evan's head inside the jaw of Fredbear. And so Evan was like crying and screaming and whatnot. And all of that eventually led to a spring lock failure inside of Fredbear. And his jaw closed really quickly and crushed Evan's skull. And so this is the first death in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe timeline, at least according to whatever video I watched. And so, yeah, Evan is dead, but now his spirit is now inside of Fredbear. So William, having just learned about the death of his child at the hands of his other son and the animatronic he created, he wasn't too happy about it, you know? I mean, I wouldn't be either. So William wanted to find out how to kind of keep Evan's soul alive. Or he found out that, like, Evan's soul was still in Fredbear. And so when he created these Funtime animatronics that I mentioned earlier, Circus Baby was one of them. And what he did, he just kind of built it with like a mechanical arm inside of it, like kind of a scooper, a grabber thing. And he put in a sensor that would count all the children in the room until there was one. And when there was one child, Circus Baby would go up and kill him, you know? It would scoop it inside. So, William's daughter, Elizabeth, really liked the Circus Baby and would often go and see it whenever William was either working on it or whenever it was like in storage or something. So what Elizabeth did on the opening of this new Freddy Fazbear's location, or their sister location, she went to see Circus Baby, but coincidentally she was the only child in there, and what happened was Circus Baby neuron activation killed her, and now Elizabeth is the second death and is also now controlling Circus Baby while her soul is inside Circus Baby. So William has now just lost 2 children. So he's not really happy about it. And that's about all I'm gonna talk about for now. Might pick it up again another time. But yeah, that's kind of the beginning lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. So yeah.